Assalamu alaikum, dear great friends. Today I am here to elaborate the remaining parts of the Green Revolution. In previous videos, we discussed the enlisting the Green Revolutions and in the two Green Revolutions in previous videos I was discussed. And on this video, I will try to elaborate the third revolution. The title of the third revolution is Evergreen Revolution, and its start and on the duration. It's start in 1990 to current to present. The main objective of this revolution I will discuss next, and first of all, I will try to share the main things which is present on this evergreen revolution. It's the precautionary measures. On the previous videos, we discussed the first green revolution and second green revolution. Use the synthetic materials, use the fertilizers onto the crops, use the heavy machinery onto the crops. You know that these machinery and these synthetic materials deteriorate the natural environment and the natural ecosystem of the living things which are present in the soil. And these synthetic materials and machinery are also decrease the fertility of the soil and damages the most important structure and texture of the soil, and also deteriorate the environment. It this creates the pollution into the environment. The solution of these queries, which are come from these revolutions which I was discussed previous videos. The solution of this revolution is the evergreen revolution. On this revolution, I will try to cover the main facts and figures which are very necessary for the farmers and for the agriculturists, and they are growing crops on their fields, and when they follow these precautionary measures, then they improve their fertility, they improve the environmental aspects, and they also save the environment and they also save also the ecosystem, natural ecosystem, when they use these technologies onto their farms. First of all, the evergreen revolutions refers a gift in agricultural practices and technologies aimed at improving the productivity without damaging the environment, particularly after the initial, you know that initial green revolutions which are focused only the which are focused only boosting and enhance the crop productivity, enhance the crop yields, take on the number of more grains with the use of high inputs and use of chemical fertilizers and the machinery onto their crops, and they deteriorate the most damaging part of the earth like a soil and fields. The term evergreen was coined by Indian agricultural scientists like as Dr. M.S. Swinton to emphasize sustainable agricultural growth while preserving the natural resources needed for the future generations. The main fundamental and the key aspects and the main basements of this evergreen revolution is, first of all, I will discuss I will try to discuss the sustainability. The main focus of this evergreen revolution is sustainability focus. You know that the evergreen revolution seeks to ensure that agricultural growth continuously over the long term by maintaining the soil health water quality, and biodiversity. Unlike the Green Revolution, which sometimes led to overuse, the natural resources like as the water, the fertilizers, and the solution of these is the evergreen revolution to emphasize the sustainable practices that prevent soil depletion, reduce chemical usage, and also safeguard the natural ecosystem. And the second great point which was focused the evergreen revolution is ecological intensifications. On this intensification, the evergreen revolutions, the scientists discuss the use of modern technologies and the modern methods to improve, to enhance the soil fertility and the reduce and overcome the natural pollution which are come from synthetic material. First is the integrated pest management. Due to this practice, we are focusing to reduce the use of synthetic material which are coming from the uh, green revolutions. We discuss the integrated pest management, use the biological control agents to reduce the overcome the effects and the stresses of natural ways like as the natural insect pest, and use the other sustainable practices. And we also done the conservation tillage. Due to this technique, we reduce the erosion problem and improves the water retention capability, and also leaving crop residues onto the field. We don't um, share the prescribed fire onto the field because it creates a lot of problems into the soil. And these prescribed fire, you know that the staple burnings after the sugarcane cuttings, and these staple burnings creates a lot of problems, and farmers use these techniques and the traditional techniques, and they deteriorate the natural ecosystems and they pollute the environment also. And number third is agroforestry techniques. Use the integrate the trees with the crops, improve the diversity, and enhance the soil fertility to prevent the erosion, to take the trees and to grow inside the trees around the field. And these techniques improve the soil and reduce the soil erosion, increase the soil infiltration, water holding capability, and also shading environment naturally present into the soil. And number third point is high yielding with resilient crops. And the key feature of this development is to crop varieties that are not only high yielding but also resistant to pest diseases and other insects and environmental stresses like as drought, heat, and salinity. These crops will stand on these conditions of their natural ways. If we resist these, if they gave the capabilities to modify the genes, and they not take the much time but they reduce the their harmful effects which are coming naturally, or if we apply the ways that synthetic material are very excess amount on theirs, applying from the traditional farmers, you know that they use into excess and they give the input, and they are not save the natural resources. On the evergreen revolution, we save the natural resources and we take responsibilities and share the extension workers to the go to the farmers and share the precautionary measures and share the main objectives of the evergreen revolution. And the number four is how we use the water use efficiency. You know the how much water applied to the farmers and to the field. The agronomist share the definition of the water use efficiencies, the water applied to the soil and how much water um, used for the photosynthesis of the plant. This is the water use efficiency according to the um, agronomist. The main three techniques are used to save the water, to conserve the water around the world, and that these three techniques are very common in developed countries, and most developing countries are adopt this. The main first uh, irrigation or first water use efficiency technique which are using to save and conserve the water is drip irrigation technique. Firstly, this technique is used in 1940 ISSR Israel, and after this developing countries are adopt this. And this the main objective of this technique is delivers water directly to the root zone of the soil, or root zone of the plant, and it's creates a safe environment with safe water, and also conserve the water for the peak periods. Number two is rainwater harvesting. The main objective of this is collecting and storing rainwater for use during the dry spells, during the dry or drought conditions, and or shortage periods. Number third is water use efficiency technique. Number third is water saving technologies using the precision farming. You know that precision farming tools help to optimize the water use based on real-time soil and climatic conditions. Use the natural ways to predict the uh, predict the natural disaster, and use the natural ways to create the pots around the fields, and store the water onto the pots, and use these pots onto the dry spells. Number five point, and number five main objective of the evergreen revolution is agroecological practices. On these practices, the evergreen revolution focused on the crop rotation techniques, intercropping, companion cropping, and more other um, techniques. It's increased the crop productivity. You know that growing two crops on the same land on the same time gives more return, like as the use of a soybean with the maize crop. The soybean crop are naturally biological fixing crop, and they gave nitrogen to the soil, and the maize crop uptake this nitrogen, and they have not used more, they had not require more nitrogen. If we apply the organic matter to the also the crop, then this crop have potential to withstand and survive on these conditions, and this is the natural ways to restore the soil. And the number six main objective of the evergreen revolution is genetically modified crops. Use the crops which are genetically modified. On the evergreen sports, we are focused on the both high yieldings but resistant against any natural disasters, like as resistance against the salt tolerant soils, resistance against any heat stroke. And number seven main objective of the evergreen revolution is the climate changing adaptations. The crops have resistance and potential to adapt themselves on the great changing climatic situations. Today is it's very change, and we shift there. How we solve this issue to shift their sowing and growing seasons. If we apply the seeds of wheat onto the soil in November, after the 15 October to 15 November in Pakistan, in tropical regions and in subtropical and temperate regions, but we shift these uh, timings because of the climatic conditions and climatic situations arise and fixed and changing their conditions, then we gain the maximum productivity to the use of natural resources and natural ways. And also the earth main objective of the evergreen revolution is smallholder empowerment to utilize the natural and the governmental sectors for the poor and withstand the difficulties with poor farmers and smallholder farmers and use the facilities in the forms of interest in the forms of technology, knowledge, and financial support to the help and sustainable and the farmers to adopt the sustainable practices onto their farms. These are the main factors which are focused on evergreen revolution. The last factor the evergreen revolution focused is the biofertilizer use and biopesticides use of organic farming. In biofertilizers, you know that it's the natural products help to reduce the dependency onto the chemical fertilizer and pesticides. You know the biofertilizer enrich into the soil with the beneficial microorganisms. You know the microorganisms the soil engineers, and they reduce the compactness into the soil and they increase the erosion problems, and they reduce erosion problem, increase the erosion, and they are the soil builders and improve the soil structure and texture, and also beneficial for microorganisms of the while biopesticides use natural agents to control the pest also. Organic farming, you know that natural ways to give the organic matter into the soil, and it's also it also fulfill the uh, their fertilizer efficiency, like as urea requirement, their nitrogen, their phosphorus, their potash requirements, and there are also microorganisms micronutrients requirements. They also creates the most great environment, and they reduce the pollution, and that also enhance the soil fertility, and these are the restorative methods to restore the soil, to restore the natural ecosystem around the world, around into your fields, and increased. And number 10 number of the evergreen revolution is increased the investments in researches in agriculture research, and the, also use the extension workers around the world to aware the farmers to use these sustainable technologies to create a quality and quantity crops for the humans, for the markets. And these are the techniques, and these are the main objectives which we follow and creates a sustainable environment which are pollution free, which are disease free, which are great for the ecosystem. And this is evergreen revolution have the capability and potential to withstand the crops in natural condition, natural ways, and withstand in and give a maximum quality and quantity without deteriorating the environment, without the creating the pollution around the world, without the pollution into the environment. Thank you so much. It's a great video for the evergreen revolution, which duration is 90 and 2000 to present. Thanks for watching. In next video, we'll discuss the remaining parts of this uh, green revolution. Thanks.